have a viable seed in it. If you can see that, yes. An advantage to having an offspring of a really nice tree, plant. So fam, this is our new macadamia nut tree. Really small pot. I feel like the size of this pot is not, efficient for the size of this plant. So this plant is every bit of 5 foot tall. It does have fruit on it. It's a really mature tree, and I pay top of the limits of money for this plant, but I wanted it really bad, and I think it's going to be a good addition. So it is a tropical plant, but it can grow in subtropical areas, so it don't like frost, and depending on the year we get very minimum frost. We don't generally get cold throughout the day, but we did have, a couple years ago, an issue where we did have freezing weather for almost 2 weeks, which is unheard of here, but it happens. So I think I'm gonna continue to grow it in the pot because it actually is fruiting. It looks healthy, and I don't want to tempt the fact that it may or may not survive. At some point, I'm probably gonna graft part of this tree, and I will then possibly use this tree or the other tree as a guinea pig to be planted in the ground. But for now, I'm putting it in a big pot, and I'm gonna move it as necessary. So let's get going. All right, fam, so I think I got everything I'm gonna need to go ahead and repot my plant. So it always amazes me how in the world these plants stay alive when you get them from some of these nurseries or big box stores. They're being really small pots, and there's very little, if any, soil in the pots. It's pretty much roots. Easy to damage your plant or kill it by changing pots. So I'm gonna try to be as gentle as I possibly can while still getting the job done. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna mix potting soil with rabbit manure, which is an excellent source of food for any plant. It'll slowly break down and actually give the plant the food it needs over time. So I'm gonna mix the potting soil and the rabbit poop in this pot. Now, as you may see, this is a humongous pot, probably way more than that plant needs, but I'm not planning on uppotting it again. So I wanted to have a big enough pot to where it can grow to its full potential while in pot without me having to do anything extra to it. All right, fam, so I've been using this potting soil, as you could probably see, you could tell what it is, for a couple of years, and it's fairly inexpensive as potting soil goes, and it holds moisture really well, but yet it actually allows moisture to flow through it. So that is perfect for me. When it comes to planting in a pot, you don't want your roots to be waterlogged, and you don't want your plant to constantly be dry. So having a soil that will hold enough moisture where your plant won't be dry, but yet let it flow through so it's not sitting in a bunch of water is what you're looking for. It actually has food in it already, so if you use it just by itself, your plant can you know, be good for about a year or so. But I'm gonna put a little extra in there just because that's just what I do. So let's get going, guys. Mix it up just a little bit. As you can see, these roots are not all up under the ground, and I need to leave them just the way they are. So they're sitting up a little bit out of the pot, and what it looks like to me is that pot is just full of roots. So guys, we want to try to remove this tree from the pot without disturbing too much. I know that it's gonna be almost impossible for this tree not to be root bound because this pot is not very big. Okay, I mean, it don't look bad. It don't look bad, guys. I mean, it does have some roots that's circling around, but there's not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot. So I'm happy to see that. That means it should transplant pretty well. But I'm definitely going to remove these fruit from this tree so we can enjoy them, and it allowed the tree to bounce back from any transplant shock that it may have without having to worry about taking care of the fruit. Alright guys, before I finish putting the soil down, I'm going to try to go ahead and moisten up this root ball. That is a lot of roots, guys. A lot of roots. Very little soil is left in this pot. Like, I'm always amazed. Like, how in the world can you keep this alive when there's not many roots left inside? There's not many. How do you keep this alive when you don't have that much soil on your tree? Like, that is, to me, it's crazy. And like I said, you know, this tree costs a lot, you know, so why risk that? But I guess if you have somebody attending to them 24/7, they're probably using all kind of crazy fertilizers and stuff on there, and it's actually just living off of the fertilizer. And then what it does is it makes it real difficult for the homeowner to keep the plant alive, because you're not able to do all the stuff that they were doing to keep it alive. You know, you don't have access to the fertilizers, the foods that they got, and you don't have a 24-hour attendant or caregiver to watch it and make sure it's watered at all times and fed. So trees shouldn't have to be monitored as much as they are in the nursery. So this plant should have been up potted like a long time ago. All right, fam. So one thing I want to mention to y'all that, you know, I learned, and I want each and every one of y'all to actually know, when you go to a nursery or a big box store don't always look at buying the biggest tree, you know, because just like this one, the biggest tree may be root bound. So you get a tree that's proportionate to the size of the plant, and you have a better chance of it surviving, because when you decide to take it home and you up pot it, the roots ain't all bound up. And that is very important, because like I said, when you're not able to give them that special food that these nurseries can give them, and that special attention, you have a good chance of losing your tree. In this case, very expensive tree. All right guys, so as you can see, I did not plant my tree no deeper than it was. You know, I got it at the same level in this pot as it was in the smaller pot, and hopefully over time it'll actually grow out a little bit more than what it is now, because it had no more room to grow in that little small pot over there, and now it has a big pot, and it's big enough to where it can grow to a decent potential, but yet I can actually move it when I need to. Now, not saying I'm gonna be able to move it easily, but I should be able to move it. So fam, I came out yesterday and I was like, man, my sunflowers got to be almost ready. And I came out to this. Jeez. Yeah, that little piece in the middle is all that's left of my sunflowers. Now, I don't know if the squirrels or the birds are the culprit, but they completely scrapped this particular tree to almost nothing. Not only that one, this one, and even all of them. So I come out and I look on the ground, and a whole bunch of picked through seeds, flower buds, like there. I broke some of the limbs off. It is absolutely sad. Look at this. Yeah, somebody beat me to my sunflowers, and I don't know, they did this pretty fast, because last time I looked, we didn't have this problem. This one, so you see how they've been sitting up here working on it. That one, I mean, it is a mess. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these sunflowers. I may plant a second round. I think this one might be okay. Yeah, so they haven't destroyed this one as of yet, so I'm gonna harvest this one. Even though there's not much left, I think I'm gonna go ahead and get what I can out of these. I can at least use the seeds to grow some more next year. Yeah, I got a few seeds left in there, not many. Jesus. Hold on. There's not very many seeds left. So trying to get what I can out is gonna be all I can do at this point. So let's see if they actually have seeds inside. And they absolutely do. So there are seeds in each one of these, and I was hoping I'd be able to roast a lot and be able to eat a lot, on top of being able to have a lot of seeds to grow these humongous sunflowers again. So these sunflowers are every bit of 15 foot tall, easily, and that's when they're standing, they're leaning the way they are. When they were standing straight up, they probably was taller than that. You know, they will grow up and then the head will bow down. And of course, the weight of it bowing down sometimes will pull the plant down towards the ground when they're this tall, this lanky. So we got this variety of seed from Grace and Fire, you know, on YouTube. So they were gracious enough to send us some, and we've been growing them ever since. I think we had these things every bit of 3 years now, and we've been growing them every year. And we get, the first year wasn't so good, but I learned the little tricks that it takes to make a sunflower grow this big, and now I got good at it, so I can get huge sunflowers every time now. So I'm excited that I'm able to produce this, but I'm a little sad that I can't eat all these sunflower seeds that I was planning on eating. So we're probably in the same position with this one. You know, we do have a little bit of seeds. I should have harvested them last week. So now that the squirrels know what these look like, I'm gonna have a problem with them every time I grow them. Or maybe not. I'm gonna let y'all see it before I look at it. Now, question is, did I cut this off too soon? Are the seeds ready? Let's see. They were so busy eating the other ones that they just forgot about this one. Or maybe this one don't have the seeds in it like the other ones did. Y'all cross your fingers for me? Let's see what we got. Oh man, look how big that one is though. It's to seed or not to seed? Yes! So this one does have a viable seed in it. If you can see that, yes. So I actually beat them to that one. So I believe this one is the mammoth, and I have grown a mammoth before and the heads don't get this big. Now the seeds that I got from Grace of Fire, it's more than likely because she grew a humongous sunflower and she harvests the seed from that big sunflower, and these are what I'm growing. So that allows me an advantage to having an offspring of a really nice tree, plant. Let's see what else we got. So here we go. This is another head that's full of seeds. Now guys, this plant here came from a pack of seeds, and I thought they were mammoth also, but they obviously are different from the ones that I got from Grace and Fire. Grace and Fires only produce one huge head, and these produce multiple. Now this one and the other one that y'all saw over here has a whole bunch of different heads on it. Now, I mean, I counted probably about 30 of them at one point. But if you look at this one head, it is pretty big to still have produced all these smaller heads. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm gonna eat these. I'm gonna keep those. I'm gonna keep those. Oh yeah, look at that. Seeds in this one and seeds in that one. So let's see. I guess I could be pretty proud of what I was able to accomplish this year, but I still want to do even better. So I'm gonna keep on working at it, guys.